at 3 position groups, which is basically, let's just keep it a buck, the defense, right?
Oh yeah.
The defense last year was a lot less than desirable at times. Um, it got better as the season, but those first few games, when we went 1-6, there were a lot of points given up, right?
Absolutely.
Defense got a little bit better after the first 7 games, but I think there were some things and some positions and uh, some things that needed to be addressed. So what we did was we took the defensive line. We're going to take a look at the defensive line, the linebackers, and the D backs, right? Because we said position groups. Let's just say defense. We're going to talk about the defense. So, Foster, I'm going to tell you uh, what we looked at the defensive line to start off with. You cool with that?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, there was one person that was released from the team, and that was the defensive lineman. That was Michael Brockers.
Okay.
And I think what was it? What was the cap hit that they say? Was it 10 million?
I think you said yeah. I think 10 million is what we said.
I think it was more. I think it was a cap move space. I mean a cap space move, but at the same time, I don't remember too many plays that he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Since his signing, I just don't remember him making a difference on the defense.
Right.
So they released him, and there's another defensive line, Austin Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
that we lost, and I think he signed somewhere else. I don't know. I know he wasn't waived, cut, or released. He signed somewhere else. Um, you lose 2 defensive linemen, and you add Broderick Martin from the draft. That's the big fella, the D tackle, so to speak, from the Western Kentucky,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Foster.
What's up?
What do you think about the defensive line as compared to last year? Now, it's kind of crazy because there's not much change.
Right.
So I'm putting you on the spot. What do you think we got here?
So I think that, well, for one, we have James Houston only played. What did he play? 8 games last year. I think he was on the practice squad. I don't even think he made the game. I don't think he made the team out of camp. I think he was on the practice squad. So I think he's one of the biggest factors to watch going into next year. Is he almost caught Hutchinson for sacks? He had like 8 sacks in 7 games, something crazy like that. And
Yeah.
and so it's gonna be interesting to see now that I feel like he was people weren't in tune with him yet. It'll be interesting to see
Mhm.
how he adjusts now that the world is on alert about James Houston, because that's gonna be major to see if he has that sophomore slump and if he can keep it moving, because Aiden Hutchinson was the most double defensive lineman last year in the entire NFL.
That's
So
crazy.
if James Houston can make an impact, it's going to open it up. It's going to open things up for Hutch to be able to not be double teamed as much. And he was the runner up for defensive player, rookie defensive player of the year. So I feel like the opportunity for him to expand on his game only goes up
Yeah.
if James Houston proves to continue his path. Outside of that, we brought back Kaminsky. We brought back I think Kaminsky's the only one that we had to actually re-sign. And then Romeo Aquara, I think
Mhm.
he took a pay cut in order to stick around. So
Right.
I feel like I feel like we have the opportunity to be deep. It's just a matter of who's gonna step up.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't think defensive line was the problem last year in the defense. I think it could have been better, but it wasn't a big problem. So you don't see too much movement with the personnel. Like I said, we lost 2 people that probably hardly played. or made a big significant stamp last year, and we add a rookie from the draft. So there's not too much moving around there on the defensive line. I personally thought that the defense, if you looked at the defense, the defensive line was the strength of that of the defense last year.
Yeah, definitely.
So defensive line. Now we're going to move to the linebackers, right?
Yeah.
So with the linebackers, we had departures of Chris Board and Josh Woods. Now, no knock to those guys. I do not remember them playing. Okay, so I felt like the linebacker core was decent, but we needed better play from the linebacking core than we got last year. We need better play. There's just no way this team can be successful on a defensive standpoint if the linebacker play doesn't step up or do better. So, with that being said, we lose those two, and we add Jalen Reeves-Maybin, and we draft Jack Campbell.
Yep.
So I'm gonna put you on blast again, Foster.
What's up?
What do you think about the linebacking core now?
I think that going and getting Jack Campbell, that was one of the biggest. I think that was one of the biggest voids that we had to fill, especially after free agency. After free agency, we kind of shored up our secondary quite a bit through free agency.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get to that. But I think it was essential for us to go out and get a linebacker early on. I know I've been watching. It looks like Derek Barnes is having a good camp because Derek Barnes was here last year, despite the fact that our linebackers struggled. Derek Barnes was around last year, so I think he's making it a point to take some steps forward this year as well. Anzalone is kind of our mainstay. We re-signed him, brought him back. He was here last year. He played with Dan Campbell in New Orleans as well. So I'm excited to see where we're at after that. As far as Maybin, I think Maybin's more of a special teams guy. I want to say that So I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make. And then of course we got can't forget about Rodriguez. I feel like Rodriguez has a ceiling to him. You know, he was like a 6th round pick. I think he was like a 5th, 6th round pick. I think there is a ceiling to what he can provide for us. But he's now, not a vet, but he was here last year. He was around. He is 1 year, 1 full year of experience that, he can bring to the team as well. So I'm not I can't say I'm sold on the linebackers yet. We just gonna have to see. But I do remember one person that I forgot to mention as far as the defensive line, Josh Pascal. Josh Pascal was a 2nd round draft pick, I believe, last year. He was hurt for the first half of the year. He was like Jamison Williams, where he missed a lot of the early parts of the year, but he's now had a full year to because I saw one of his interviews and he said that he's so much more comfortable coming into this year having been on the field for a half a year and just it's a wonder what a year makes when you've actually got a chance to experience things, learn the playbook, and he's 100% healthy this year. He's going into the year healthy, so he can play a full, preseason as well because he didn't play any preseason last year. So he's going to be a pivotal part to our defensive line too because he plays inside and out.